Hey everyone, it's Mackenzie. In this video, I want to share with you the process that I went through of getting diagnosed and kind of what that entailed. So it all started a number of years ago when I coughed up a little bit of blood and noticed a lump in the back of my throat. So I immediately went to see an ENT, and she chalked it up to seasonal allergies and decided that we should keep an eye on it and monitor it for a couple of months. So a couple of months had gone by, and I noticed that the lump just kept getting bigger, and I was starting to get concerned about it. At the follow-up appointment, she didn't really seem concerned about it. She really stuck to her guns that it was likely allergies. So I decided that I should get a second opinion. I ended up seeing another ENT up in Boston, and immediately he was like, yes, this is a little bit fishy. Let's go ahead and biopsy it and go from there. So I had the lump biopsied, and it was sent off to the pathologist. It ended up spending a month with pathologists. It went through a number of different hands, and after that month had passed, the results had come back that the tissue had characteristics of amyloid. So the ENT physician said, you know what, you really don't fit the profile of people with amyloidosis, but I think it's worth following up on. So he recommended a hematologist in Boston, who I went to see. The hematologist agreed that, yes, something is up, we need to look into this further. So we had a bone marrow biopsy done, and those results came back that I did have an abnormal amount of plasma cells in my bone marrow, and that I did indeed have amyloidosis. So that's when I was first officially diagnosed. That process from first meeting with the ENT to having the diagnosis took about a year, but I was very fortunate in that amyloidosis was the first thing that they suggested, and it ended up being that. So the hematologist ultimately referred me to someone who specialized even more in the disease, someone who was more knowledgeable than he was. And that's when I ended up going to the Mayo Clinic. I spent a week there going through a number of tests, bone marrow biopsies, echocardiograms, renal function tests, just a whole bunch of different tests to determine the severity of the disease, if it had spread anywhere. So after the week, we did confirm that I did in fact have amyloidosis, but I was very lucky in that I had no organ involvement, and the amyloidosis was only in my throat at this point. So the doctor recommended that we treat this immediately, and we decided upon a treatment plan and went from there. But really the moral of the story is to really trust yourself. You know your body better than anybody else, and you should trust those gut instincts, those gut feelings that you get, because they're often correct, and it never hurts to seek a second opinion, especially if it ends up being something serious. You've caught it, but if it ends up being nothing, that's great. So really trust yourself, trust your instincts, because it could be the one thing that ends up saving your life. So that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video.